of the internet, welcome back once again to Horrible Games Ring. We're going to be getting right into our next run. It will be Case Closed, the Miraculous Investigation, being run by Sario100. Take it away, my friend.
Alright, so this is Case Closed, the Miraculous Investigation, which is actually based off of an anime of the same name. I don't want to spend too much time. I'll explain everything in the intro cutscene. So yeah, I'm gonna start a countdown here. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this game is actually pretty simple. There's not really any tech or glitches. It's basically pure movement for an hour and a lot of menuing. So the game is actually not too easy because the movement is pretty hard. Mainly because the camera's kind of bad, and all the menuing you use motion control, like the pointer, which also makes it pretty hard. So this game is actually pretty hard not to lose small bits of time to menuing or movement errors. Yeah, that's about all for the game itself. There are some other, like a bunch of small things I'll be talking about, but the general gist of it is that it's a bunch of movement and menuing. Right here, we get the first bit of movement after this cutscene, which is getting kind of close to done. The first thing I should mention in gameplay is for text mashing. I don't actually mash it, I just hold the A button. The game automatically skips through it, which is really nice. If I had to sit here mashing text, I'd probably not be, like, I would probably not enjoy this game much. So I'm very thankful that they let you hold the A button to skip through text, like, really fast. Alright, so here's the first bit of movement. I just walk over to her. So, and then after that we have our first bit of menuing. We get the movement and then the menu, basically. So yeah. Point at all. Basically, right now we have to learn about who these people are by skating. Magnifying glass thing. Basically all these characters are not really important to the story of the show itself. This game is basically just a single case that has no relevance to the plot of the game. There's no real need to explain a lot. Like I can talk about something more important. I will, but this game doesn't really have any plot. So most of these characters are just exclusive to this case and not really part of the overarching story of the show itself. But here we're gonna have after this bit of text, we're gonna have our first bit of like real movement. That's not just a few long, and you're gonna see. The first thing I do is I hop on my skateboard because it's actually faster than just walking around. I'm gonna be doing that a lot of places. Yeah. So I'm gonna be using the skateboard whenever I need to. Whenever it's longer than a few seconds of time. Oh, okay. Well, I already made a mistake. I've already talked to this. You basically talk to everybody here. Talk to this guy. So yeah, it can be kind of hard remembering to do everything. So we're coming up. Basically, what we're doing here is we're basically just gathering information. Nothing too crazy happening yet. So nothing like consequential. Like so, I guess I should explain what the anime is about. So this is called Case Closed, and maybe by the name you can tell that it's about a mystery show where you solve murder cases. And you might be wondering, well, you're playing as a kid, why would a kid be going around solving murderers? The truth is, he's not actually a kid, but he's 17 years old. But he was attacked and made to take a drug that made him go back to being the age of a kid. But he has the same brain, so he's still really, really smart and all that. So yeah, that's like the very general gist of it. Here we go. Here's the first clue chain, and basically we piece together all the information we got and come to a conclusion. And this one's pretty easy. It's just left to right, but later on I have to start going all over the place on this. This actually does take a while. If I choose the wrong one, I can lose a very large amount. Obviously not good. I'm gonna be trying my best to menu here. That's the first clue there. Oh well, that's not nice. So that was there's some mistakes so far, but I should be fine now. But yeah, that's the first clue chain. So we're getting to the point where some serious stuff is going to happen. Like I said, right now, nothing's really happened other than, you know, we came to the hotel, we talked to all these. But now we're going to start to get to the real. So we're going to be warping around this hotel. Basically, this game allows you to warp. And that's really nice for fast traveling. Otherwise, we'd have to use a bunch of staircases. Which would be, you know, not very fun. Basically, people are really talking. That's really all you need to know right now. Nothing too significant has happened yet. But eventually, like I said, we're getting to the... Alright, so we're almost at the point where something... Alright, so here we go. So, yeah, so I should mention that the camera, you can only control the camera by using the B button to center it behind you. So, you might not be able to tell, but this person was actually just... So, finally something happens. Basically, now there's been a murder, so now we have to figure out who did it, of course. This will be the first of many murders. You have to investigate the body and gather clues and figure out, you know, about who did it, because the whole point of the show is to be a mystery. Find out who made the crimes. We're going to be getting on a second clue chain here. Like I said earlier, gather a bunch of it. And then using that information, we can make a deduction of whatever happened. It doesn't lead us to the culprit though. Like we don't figure out who the mastermind behind all this is just yet. That's at the end of the game, but we do get like a better idea that we use later on to figure out who it is. One thing that's kind of annoying is that some text boxes you can't actually close by holding the A button. Namely, like the gray text boxes that you see when I'm done talking to these people. I have to stop mashing, like I have to stop holding and start mashing the A button. Which can be a little scary because sometimes I might talk to them on accident again. Although these characters I have to talk to multiple times anyway. So it's not that big of a guys, but... Here's another clue chain. A little bit more complex. It's not. I actually have to figure out the right one to use. Because I have to go to multiple pages, I can't go too far or not far enough, or else I could pick the wrong one. Which is actually kind of... Which is why I need to make sure that I press the, like, I scrolled a certain amount of pages, actually. Especially when I have to, like, go 5 pages. So it's not that... Not like, it's nothing crazy. So that's the end of the second clue chain. So, I should mention that this game is structured in 4 acts. And, for each act, I have to do, clue chains. For this first act, I have to do 3 clue chains, and that was the second one you saw. And then at the end, I piece together all the information from the... Here I'm actually warping, not because I have to, but because it's a little bit faster than walking all the way across the room. We'll do that a few times later on. Yeah. That's something... Here's an example of using the stairs instead of the elevator. We're right next to the stairs, so... There's no real reason to use the elevator. Just go. It's a lot faster. We'll do that also sometimes later on, although it's not too often we stairs. Usually we just use the elevator because we're going up and down a lot of stairs or floors. And here we're going to use the elevator because we're going to go up quite a few floors. One thing that's really annoying about the elevator is that some of the floors are not on the elevator. Like, there's no floor. Like if you wanted to go from floor 1 to floor 4, it's not you go up 3 times. You have to like go up twice because one of the floors are missing. That can be a little tricky sometimes to deal with. Yeah. That can be kind of annoying. Although usually I play a little safe and make sure I'm clicking the right floor. Okay, so here we are getting. This is the end of the clue chain. Back to the first. And this is the end of Act 1 on clue chain. So I talked to this guy twice, and then here we are with the last clue chain. For Act 1. Well, there is one more thing I have to do. So yeah, that's the end of Act 1. Basically, I mean, there's one more thing I have to do. Like I said, it's very easy. So Act 1 is the second shortest. Most of the acts are actually pretty similar lengths. It's nice. Like, there's no act that's way longer than the others. The time between the longest and the shortest one is like only a few. The game is pretty well paced. Alright, so that's really the end of Act 1. Now there's nothing really else I have to do. I'll hold the A button to go through text. So this guy, he's pretty important. I'll talk about him in a cutscene later. At the end of Act 2. That's Act 1. So Act 2, it picks up a little bit. Gonna be some longer clue chains, and they're gonna be a little bit harder than Act 1 because on each one you have to follow the menuing. It's not that hard, but it is a little bit harder, and it can be easy to make. I can't read Japanese. By the way, I'm actually playing on the Japanese version. Mainly because I have a suspicion it might be faster, but also because I don't like the English acting. This version. Personally, I don't like it a lot. That's just a personal preference, though. I have, like, most games usually have a faster Japanese versions. I just play on the Japanese version because it's faster. I don't actually know if it is. But I also, like I said earlier, I don't like the acting. No real, like, something, any. Here's a little cutscene here where they get into an argument about something. Didn't really matter. And characters like here. And these cutscenes don't have too much to them, especially when you can't read them and the text is being skipped by so fast that you have an idea what's. We're gonna do another warp where it's just move around the room faster instead of you actually have to. I'm just gonna warp to the same place I already am with Sal. Yeah, so there's something else you might have saw is that like if you hold the control stick input at a bad time, Conan will just walk in the direction he's facing no matter what direction I'm holding. Like there I was holding down, he walked forward, and that can be really annoying. So later it might actually lose me some time. Like it lost me a little bit of time there. It can be like really annoying. I really don't like that, but it's usually not that big of a deal. Also, the game likes to lag here. Not too sure why it lags because it's not like there's anything crazy happening on. But it's really only theirs where it lags. Kind of weird. I'm not too sure why that happens. There is one other spot that the game might lag a lot. Yeah, it's pretty weird, I'd say. Right there, as you saw, there's no second floor, so I have to scroll down twice, despite the fact that I'm on the 4th floor and want to get to the... I think it's kind of dumb, but it's not that big of a... Not wanting to go in the direction of... Alright, so... We're just kind of gathering clues right now. Nothing too crazy has happened yet in this act. It's been mostly the same as Act 1. It's not going to last too long. Getting kind of close to our next clue, our first clue chain of the act. Like there, as you saw, I swear I was pressing down there and kept walking. Okay, well that was a pretty big... I better have to talk to somebody. That's pretty easy to do because this is like kind of out of the way. Remembering that kind of stuff. There's like a lot you have to memorize in the Act 2 mid, which is makes it actually pretty hard if you not have your full undivided attention, which is why it's a little hard to commentate this. Do the best that I can. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to our next clue. Or people to talk to. And anytime you see me walking in a direction it looks like I shouldn't be, like straight forward when I want to try to walk south, that usually means that I'm not doing that on purpose. Here, we're basically chasing this... I don't know why we just talked to them and now we're talking to them. I don't know. Whatever they said, they could have just told us earlier. I don't know why they made us up here. Alright, so here's the last person we need to talk to before clue. So there, I actually almost made a pretty big mistake. If you accidentally click on a clue you've already put, you can't just back out. You actually have to... There, I almost misclicked. If you misclick, I'd have to go back to the page that I just selected, which is a pretty annoying time loss. It does happen sometimes, just because how small the icons. Pointer controls are not the best. By the way, that chain number that keeps appearing after every clue chain, that actually does not really do anything. Like, significant to the run. It's just kind of to keep track of how many you've solved in a row, which, like, doesn't really mean anything. Like, it doesn't save or lose time. It's just, it's slower to intentionally lose to break the chain down. So that's the reason why I don't try to mess up. Not because I need to keep it alive for any reason. No reason not to. It doesn't lose any time if you have a high chain or not. So here we're getting ready to come up to this big event of Act 2, which is the second murder that happens. But first we have to go through this cutscene. Yeah. Like this elevator has floor 1, 2, 3, and 4, but not the other one. Like kind of annoying. Like, hey, am I in the annex or am I in the hotel? And then if you're in the hotel, if you want to go floor 1 to floor 4, you have to go up only 2. But if you're in the annex, you have to go up 3. And sometimes it can be pretty annoying. My PB, I actually basically have perfect elevator menuing, although there is one time where I went to the wrong floor. I think it was Act. Hopefully I can avoid that. That'd be. This is also pretty confusing if you don't have the mini map. Try to navigate tight, narrow corridor. But here's a second murder. And there's not much to say here. Like the last time we body scan all this stuff. And we basically just talk to everybody around here. Interestingly enough, even if they don't give clues, you have to talk to everybody else. One of them will be like, oh, there's somebody you forgot to talk to. And kind of weird, but how it is. So I have to talk to all these people who give me. There's one person that you right there. I guess that's because she's talking to you when you talk to this guy. The guy on the right also does, but you talk to him. It makes no sense. Right here. Why you have to talk to these two kids specifically, not any of the others. That was an accident. I talked to that guy. Yeah. One thing you might notice is that on stairs you actually cannot use this. Kind of weird. Actually, no, it does make a lot of sense. Like you wouldn't want to use escape. But it is a little annoying that you look. I mean, the game automatically cancels it for you, so like I have to manually put it away, or also like bonk. By the way, you can bonk in this game. I haven't happened yet, but if you run into a person or like a wall with a skateboard, you'll have a long bonk animation. You can actually cancel that, and I might be able to demonstrate that later about it if I hit it. All right, so we're almost done with this, and then we'll have one clue chain back to. One more cutscene. This act only has 2 clue chains. Next act will have 3 clue chains, like Act 1, and then Act 4 only has 1. So, it is kind of all over the place how the clue chains are. Alright, so here's the last guy I have to talk to before. That's basically all for Act 2. There's one more thing. So yeah, I guess I could talk about the guy, the dark skinned guy in blue. So he's basically like you work with him to solve all the cases. He's kind of relevant. You'll be seeing him a lot. His main thing is that he knows that the main character is not actually a kid, which is why he's like able to work with him. And that's why it's not like, you know, weird that he's consulting a child for help with him. That's really the end of Act 2. Now there's just text and everything. That's like his main goal in this. Alright, so now basically what happens is the elevator will stop working. And the goal is to turn it back on. What this means is that we'll have to use the stairs for, which, like I said earlier, the stairs are pretty useless because you use the elevator most of the time. But now the stairs actually get some love. So if you like stairs, and this is part of the game. Yeah. Basically, we have to go figure out why the power just went out and how to get back. Doesn't take too long, but part of the game. Here's like one of the few spots where there's like kind of like you have to be really careful with your. Most of the time, you can, like, you know, you'll lose time if you have bad movement, but won't be that bad. But here you can bonk very easily a lot of time. All right, so now that we just went all the way down, now we have to go all the way back up. Kind of annoying how it is. This is also the longest act in the game, Act 3. The previous act was around 12 minutes. This one's around 18 minutes. I play good. But yeah, now we have to basically come all the way up here, talk to these guys, and then now we once again have to go all the way back down. So, but this time we'll talk to someone. Power back on. Yeah, now we have to go all the way back down to the first. And after this, guess what we get to do? We get to go all the way back up to the 7th floor. Although we will stop on a few floors to talk to people. Breaking the monotony of climbing stairs. Not that big. This curling advertisement. If anybody likes curling, then happy with that. Kind of surprised to see curling in a Japanese game. I don't know how popular. Alright, so now we're gonna go back up to the 7th floor, talking to people. And we're gonna get the elevators to be working again. By climbing up vent, imitating voice, because his bow tie is actually a voice. You can use it. Alright, so now we have to talk to somebody to talk to you earlier. It feels kind of pointless. All the way out of your way to talk to this way afterward. As you saw there, we got clues, so that means we're getting ready to start another clue chain. Always fun. Now we're gonna cutscene. This game goes by way faster when you actually hold the A button to skip the text. Oh wait, no. Mess up here. That was a mistake. I hit floor, not of the hood. Yeah, a bit of time lost. It is pretty hard to remember, like the hotel or the annex. They're pretty similar. They're both very tall buildings. That's about all you need to, like the most permanent features, I guess is the right word. I don't know. Yeah. Buildings look very similar. Hard to tell the difference. Alright, so we're getting kind of close to the end of the clue. There's a few more cutscenes of people we have to talk to, but after that, we're done with the first clue, Act 3. But yeah, all of these characters are not too important. Kind of just like your friends that you have. You talk to them and they give you information, but they don't like contribute. Other than that one guy I was talking about. Alright, so we're getting really close to the end of the talk to two. Alright, so after this cutscene, we're going to do a clue chain. That'll be the end of the first clue chain. After this clue chain, we're basically almost immediately going to head into another clue chain. For some reason, they made the second clue chain of this level have extremely... It takes the entire clues that you get are all in one room. So it's like, you know, it all happens in all space. Pretty nice for a speedrun because it's all quick and easy to remember. First clue chain. Alright, and there's the... Yeah, basically, immediately after this, there's basically... It's just like one cutscene, then you go into the instantly next clue chain, which is like really, really short. Like I said earlier, it's pretty nice for a speedrun because it makes it easy to memorize, easy, all that stuff. Yeah, this act has a... I'd say it's pretty... It is the longest one, but the clue chains feel pretty quick, other than the first one. The first one is pretty decent portion of act. Second two are decently quick compared to the other one. First one is... It makes the act way longer than the other. Or I guess way longer is not the... It is longer. So now we get to see the third murder happen here. And this is the final murder because the last act is dedicated to finding the culprit. We basically just examine the body. Like, be crazy different. You actually can use the nunchuck and the pad to move the cursor around, but that's lower than... I basically have to use motion. Large amount of time. Now we talk to this guy. Talk to the guy on the left. Basically talk to everybody here twice except the guy in the main. Yeah, this part's like I said, really quick. Like we're already almost done with the getting the... Also, I hope you like the song. I really like the main theme for this show, but after hearing this rendition of it so many times, it's like, I don't like it too much anymore. Alright, so here's the last clue chain we need. Now we, last one. Alright, and there's the... And the next clue chain is also pretty quick. It's not as big as this one, but it is close. Yeah, basically, there's been a third murder, and like I said earlier, the last murder, last act is the finally called. Now stuff is starting to get serious. You figure out who did it. I should also mention, fun fact about this game, this is the only Detective Conan, the name of this is called in Japan, called Case Closed. Game that's released outside of Japan, it was released in Europe, so it had like an official English version, but like earlier. I opted to play the Japanese version. Yeah, there is a bunch of Detective Conan, especially on speedrun.com. There's like 10 of them or something. I don't remember the exact count, but there's a decent amount. And they are pretty text heavy, but the bits that you play, I find them pretty fun. Especially the Game Boy Advance. That game is actually really is the game. Definitely recommend checking it out. Alright, so here we go. Ending of Act 3. Alright, so here we're just moving back to where we already are, but that's because otherwise they did a walk really far. Alright, there's a bonk. You bonk with the skateboard and then press the plus button twice. You can cancel the bonk animation by getting off and getting back on the skateboard way faster than watching it. Hopefully I don't bonk too much, but it is a nice backup to know. Alright, so here's another time we're using the stairs. This time we're actually going to go up 2 stairs. Last time. Here's lag again. I don't know why that area lags right there. But yeah, like I said, it can be really hard to figure out where you are just because of how badly you can by centering behind you with the button, which isn't like too great. Yeah, here we are actually getting pretty close to the end of the act. That's like the last guy we have to talk to, and we just watch a cutscene. Yeah, like right there, the camera was not working with. So here's the last clue chain. Yeah, there's multiple games on the GBA, but the good one's called the Targeted Detective. It actually is like there's not much text boxes in it. Like the most game-like. Alright, and then here's the end of Act 3. Like I said, there's always like one little bit of thing you have to do it. That's really easy. So yeah, the end of Act 3 right here. This is the longest act, so you go from the longest act, Act 3, to the shortest act, which is the final act on Act 4. Alright, so here we are. Now it's really the end of Act 3. Now we have Act 4, which, like I said, is the shortest act in the game. It's optimally it's just under 10 minutes. So although it's not 10 minutes from now, it's around 10 minutes from where I split, which is not for probably another 40-ish seconds. There's probably a little over 10 minutes left of the run. I'm gonna be going well under estimate. Primarily because when I submitted this, my PB was not nearly as good now. I improved a lot since my PB, both in my route and just my overall gameplay. I'm happy about. Alright, so this is the beginning of Act 4, like I said. There's nobody's gonna be killed in this act, unfortunately. But we're gonna be figuring out who did all this stuff. Yeah, there's not too much to say about Act 4. It's basically more of the same. Other than there's only one clue chain. So basically after the clue chain, everything else is very linear. Not much that you have to memorize or read off. So, yeah. Fortunately. That could happen because I'm mashing the button to close Xbox, so I talk to them. Be a little bit more. Yeah, we're getting kind of close to the end. So a little bit left I have to do. One thing I should mention about this game is that there's actually no RNG in it. I guess the NPC, like when the guy is following you around, that can be a little random, but it doesn't really lose time if you are good at avoiding him. Pretty sure he actually isn't an idiot. I haven't looked into him too much. Minor thing out. Alright, so getting a little closer done with the clue chain. There's still a few more stuff I have to do. For the most part, I'm pretty close. Alright, so here we are, almost done. There's like 2 more cutscenes we have to go through, and then we're done with this clue chain. After that, it's basically straightforward to the end. Alright, so there's the ending of this. Now you go to the clue chain. This is the longest clue chain. You get to do basically everything possible. Last one. That's all for the clue chain. Alright, so the rest of the run is basically linear. We're basically in the final stretch now. If I had to guess, there's a little under 4, there's around 4 minutes left of the run. If everything goes well, which it should, because there's nothing really else I can go wrong, unless I don't know, pick the wrong option or something. This music was really... Also, this, I really... There's here, I have it. There's the cutscene here. Alright, we get to hear this song for a little bit. This is one of my favorite songs in the game. You don't really get to hear it much though, like right here. It's already... Alright, so now we have to run through this room. You're on like a pretty strict timer. Usually bonking would kill it off, but with that tech where you cancel the bonk, it actually will make it even bonk. Hopefully I don't. But as you see, I can still make it because I canceled the bonk. Alright, so here we go. Now it's basically cutscenes for the rest of the run. Also some pointing I have to do. So there's the first pointing. Only 3 of these left. And there's also some... Yeah, for the most, all the movement's done. There's no more movement. It's just cutscenes and menuing it. Time is coming up in a few minutes. It'll be a little bit after. I'll give like a 30-second. I don't know how long exactly it is, but it'll be an input. This is the maximum chain. I didn't make any mistakes. 7 is the most chain you can get. So, I mean, I already knew I didn't make any mistakes because I did, but yeah, nice to have it confirmed. Okay, so there's one more bit of inputs I have to do, and then it's playing the game match to itself, basically. So yeah, I guess I can mention that basically what happens is the main character puts the guy in blue that you see sleeping right here. You can't see him, like, hunched over. He put him to sleep and he's using a voice changer, because who would believe what a kid has to say, right? So in order to make them listen to... Basically everybody believes it except for the guy, obviously. Alright, so that's the end of all the inputs. Now it's just text mashing, and time's coming up pretty soon. It's like when I close a certain Xbox. I'll let you know. And time. Okay, so I got a 52:04, which is actually a PB and a world record. So that's pretty nice. I should mention that there's actually, for some reason, on speedrun.com, there's a separate category for getting a perfect score, which I got. So technically, this is 2 world records in 1 run, which is pretty cool. But I did want to get a 51, but unfortunately, talking to that guy twice on the first floor earlier, and also some other minor mistakes killed. You know what? I'll take it. A marathon run.
Fantastic work indeed. If there's anyone you'd like to shout out, now would be an excellent time to do so.
Unfortunately, there was somebody else who ran this game about 7 years ago, but I don't think they played it since then, so I'm really the only one who's ran this, so I don't really have anybody to shout out for this game. Yeah. It is a pretty fun game.
In case I'll ask you to shout out yourself if you want to see more. Where can they find you?
Twitch.tv/sorry_100. It's on the stream, right below the Kirby. My name's on the stream.
Fantastic stuff. All right. Thank you very much once again, GG's in chat, for that brilliant run. We will be back in just a few moments with something very exciting. We're going to be having Nerd Squared playing Half-Life Alyx Any %. Look forward to it. Definitely don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in just a few short minutes.
All right, we are at intermission.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Fantastic job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thanks for coming along. It was a brilliant show. Great to sit in.
Thank you.
And yeah, all that music was bangers, so.
You're the
you
one
were
song. All right. Well, thank you for having me, and I hope to maybe run again some other time. I don't know what game I'd run. Oh, hey, look at that. There's one of my runs right there. All right. Well, thank you guys for having me, and yeah. Is there anything else you need me to do or say, or can I head off now?
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.